Thousands of people were here to see history being made at Fuji Speedway as the Super GT and DTM Dream Race was about to get underway. Pensive was Ronnie Quintarelli, looking quietly confident was Nick Cassidy and Alex Zanardi, who had stress right at the start because the car faltered and he would end up starting from the pit lane. Naoki Yamamoto jumping into his car, and as you can see, the wet weather tyres were on standby for René Rast, but in the end they would prove to be unnecessary as Mr. Bando San and Gerhard Berger awaited. Loic Duval, well, he had drama heading towards the grid. This was even before he'd made it to the grid, connecting with the tyre barriers, and that would mean his brilliant qualifying and putting the car on P2 would count for nothing as he was out of the race. When the lights went from red to green, ahead of us 55 minutes plus one lap of scintillating race action. Would Nick Cassidy be able to convert P1 from qualifying into the race lead? Well, he was certainly under pressure right at the start of the race, but he handled it absolutely perfectly, and there were plenty of overtakes going on as Yamamoto here on the outside of Ronnie Quintarelli going in towards turn number one, and further down the order, plenty of overtaking going on, and Nick Cassidy was eking out a lead right at the front of the pack as, I say, elsewhere there was plenty of position swapping continuing, and especially between P2 and P3, between Sukakoshi and Yamamoto, who were swapping places like you would not believe. Benoit Trellier was trying to get into the mix as well and was taking advantage of mistakes of others, and Benoit would really do well right at the end of the race, and René Rast finding his way past Tachikawa in the number 33, the DTM champion, then moving up a further place, although it wouldn't be long before he would lose out to Ronnie Quintarelli. So René Rast would go from P8 to P9 as Quintarelli going in towards turn number one would get the overtake done, and indeed he did. So René Rast then relegated a further place. Now, Benoit Trellier's fight at the end of the race was extraordinary because we had three cars all involved in this particular fight, and Benoit Trellier was after the P6 position, and wherever he put the car, it was with an overtake in mind, and even a little nerf here and there wasn't going to stop his charge. But Nick Cassidy doing an absolutely perfect job, and for keeper Toms, the Lexus LC 500 would make history as the winner of the first ever Dream Race. Sukakoshi would take P2 with Yamamoto taking P3. Nick Cassidy, of course, did all the hard work in qualifying, but then repeated that hard work during the race, and even a late safety car was not going to prevent him from celebrating and making history. And up there on the top step of the podium, he held his trophy aloft. He was the race winner at Fuji.